Hi there, I've got a really pretty cotton crystal method with pixie powders to show you today. I just love that pop of blue against the white, don't you? We're going to be using the Mix and Match Friendship Sentiments, oops, the Spiral Flower from the Finishing Touches, the Oak Leaf Swag, a little accent with that one, and we're creating the frames with the double stitched rectangles. So the first thing I want to do is bring in a piece of acetate. Now when I make these at home, what I like to do is do an entire sheet. So I have some extra bits I can use, but just for today, I'm just going to use a little bit here. And I'm bringing in some Cosmic Lacquer. We're going to use that as a base, and I've got some pixie powders. Let's put down our lacquer and then we'll talk about the pixie powders. So I'm just going to swizzle some lacquer all over it, and I like to just take my finger and mix it a little bit so it covers the entire sheet. We'll do the center section here. There we go. Get a tissue. And the colors we've chosen for today are Midnight Blue, White Pearl, and Aqua Lagoon. So I'm going to go in with the blue first. Now once this hits the Cosmic Lacquer, you'll start to see a little bit of the color come out. So you get a sense of how much color you're putting on there. Since it's wet, you'll see the color rather than usually just putting it onto card as powder. There we go. And I'm going to do a little bit of mixing. I'm just going to use my finger, sort of mix this a bit. There's a tiny bit of grit you'll feel from the powder, but I want to kind of mix it along and use this as my base. Get it all spread out. There we go. Okay. I'm going to add in some Aqua Lagoon. That'll give you some nice pretty colors. We'll pop that into some of the areas where the blue isn't quite as deep. There we go. And the White Pearl. It'll give a really lovely shimmer to that. There we go. I like that. Pop those to the side. Now I'm going to bring in a piece of regular tissue. This is like gift wrap tissue. I'm going to fold it up and get it quite wrinkled. I'm going to just open it back up without tearing it, but don't take all your wrinkles out. Just want to lay it gently right over the top of that. There we go. Bring in a piece of kitchen roll and tamp it down. And the tissue is quite a bit larger than your acetate, so don't worry about that. Just wanted to make sure it covered all of it. Pushing all of that into that lacquer so it's nice and stuck down. So you can kind of lift it up and check it to see that you've got all sorts of little wrinkles going along here, and if there's little bits that still need to be pushed down really well, you can see that. So what you want to do is leave this, set this aside to dry. That tissue will stay on there. In fact, let me just tidy my fingers up a little bit since we'll be dealing with some white card and clean up our area. There we go. And here's one I did earlier, so you can see every time you do this it's going to look completely different, but still absolutely beautiful. This one's got quite a bit of aqua background color to it, and you can see that tissue remains on there. You don't take that off, but all that beautiful detail comes through. So what we're going to do is put our frame over that. So I've cut this and added some mounting foam to raise it. Just going to peel the backing off. I think I'll just do it this way. Pop that right on there. So you can see how pretty that looks. Just love that already. We'll put that onto our backing and then we can work forward from there. So I'm going to bring in some Cosmic Shimmer glue. Just put a bead around the edge there. Pop that right inside of our pierced area, and I'll give you a quick measurement on that too. That'll take a second to set up. Bring in our ruler. So the overall card size is 8 1/4 by 7 inches. And then the frame itself is 7 inches wide by 5 5/8. Okay, so there's our base. So now we're going to add in our sentiment. So I've cut these a few times and I've layered them up so they're a little bit stronger. And I find that just easier to work with. I'm going to use some tweezers and we will just add a bit of spray glue to the back. And I'm going to sit this one for just a second while I do these two. Oh, let's just put this one on. It's being so sticky. Put that one right about here. That'll work. A little bit of glue on the back of this one. Pop that into place. So you are amazing. I'm just going to offset that one underneath it. There we go. And I'd love to accent this with some of the spiral flowers. So these are really easy. I've just literally cut a couple of them and layered them on top of each other. And I've got 2 larger ones, and then here is a smaller one with a couple of the different pieces. And I'll glue this together and you can just see what I was talking about. Literally just offset, so easy. I'm going to bring in some glue dots. I'll get a couple of these. Pop them into place. I'll put one up in the corner here. One here. And I'll put the little one right in the middle. Add that. Oops. Like that. And bring in some of the oak swag pieces that I've cut. So we can add those in and around and underneath. In fact, let's just trim a tiny bit off the back of that one. Pop that under there. And there's a little one I've cut just to put up in the corner. I think that's really pretty. That one can go right underneath the corner of that frame and come down. Give that a second to set. And we can put, let's see, let's do another one like about like that coming out. Oops. There we go. And the last 2 will come off the bottom. So you've got a right and a left facing you can use. There, and we will put, I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll just do a little half one. Whoops. We'll put that coming around the back here. Just to give a little bit of an accent. You can play with them however you like, but I think that's so pretty. And that pop of color I just think is stunning. Well, I hope you've enjoyed this. And remember, you can do larger pieces, use them for all your projects at any time you want.